Little G Weevil has a signature hat. It's an ivy cap, one of those vintage flat hats that Samuel L. Jackson likes to wear. And he's got the word Sunnyland tattooed on his right forearm. It's a reference to Sunnyland Slim, a blues pianist from the Mississippi Delta who was big in Chicago in the 1940s and 50s.
Well, tell me, baby, which way shall I go? Which way shall I go? You kick me out the door.
But Sunnyland is also the middle name Little G gave his first son. He gave his second son the middle names John Lee.
So I was 16 years old when I heard this gentleman, Johnny Hooker. He was the first bluesman I heard. And that kind of changed my whole life, obviously, because I just wanted to be a bluesman. From that on, I knew what I was meant to do. You know?
The blues have been his life for the last 20 years. My name is Tanner Latham, and this is Authentic South. It's a storytelling podcast where I explore Southern culture through food, music, art, the land, and quirky characters of big personalities. When I first heard Little G Weevil sing the blues, I thought his voice was very Louisiana, like it was filtered through the bayou.
Well, you know, woke up this morning with Jesus on my mind, Jesus on my mind, Jesus on my mind.
But he's not from the bayou at all. He's from Budapest. Little G's real name is Gabor Such. He grew up in Hungary. Now he lives in Kennesaw, Georgia, a little town engulfed by the sprawl of metro Atlanta.
Down, 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 down.
If your dream is to be a big-time actor, you know you've got to suck it up and go to LA, go to New York, and just start auditioning. If your dream is to be a blues man, you go to Memphis. You go to Beale Street. So Little G was in Hungary, playing the blues with some bands over there, and he decided he was ready to go try to make it happen in Memphis. He got a foreign work placement agency to find him a job in the States. It was at a hotel in Birmingham, and when he got there, he started washing dishes for them. 8 months later, Little G finally took his first trip to Memphis. He was competing in the International Blues Challenge. Now, this is a competition of over 200 different acts from all over the world. And he was immediately smitten by the city.
And I was like, man, there is no way. It was something else to me. I come back and from that on, I could not think about nothing else. And I went back, work, stuff like that. I didn't care about nothing that on. I just wanted to make a move to Memphis. So
several months later, he did. He bought a van and he drove there. No job, very little money. He was just going to try to make it work. When he arrived, he parked his van on the banks of the Mississippi River.
That's why I slept in my van for 3 days and washed off in the river and stuff like that. I didn't know nobody. And I'm European, I don't know the system, what I could do, so that's
I mean, it's like you're living the life of a blues song.
Dude.
If you're washing your clothes in the Mississippi River.
And if man, I'm telling you, that's so true. So freaking true.
He finally landed a job, again washing dishes, at a club called the Blues City Cafe on Beale Street. It was hard, 11-hour shifts, but he was there, right in the middle of the blues. And during every one of his smoke breaks, he'd walk out and watch the musicians performing on stage. One night, this guy named Earl the Pearl was playing and saw Little G standing there.
Every time they would play, I would sneak and I love the guy. And so he was like, man, you like the blues? So you're like, yeah, I do. Cool, man. You play? So I play something, yeah. He was kind enough I had my apron on, and I go on stage. He had his guitar player, so he would send his guitar player off, and I take his guitar player's instrument and just play a song with my apron on, and the crowd is loving it. He's like, okay, man, let's do one more.
The manager ended up giving him a regular gig, and that's how Little G started playing on Beale Street. He enjoyed lots of success. He was in a band, playing multiple gigs a week. Then, life happened. The drummer in the band had a heart attack during a show and died on stage. The band dissolved. Work dried up. Little G returned to Hungary and recorded an album. He later came back to the U.S. to tour, met his future wife, and they eventually moved to Kennesaw because her family was there.
Sneak up Memphis Queen.
These days, Little G is still playing the blues full-time. In 2012, his album, The Teaser, was named one of the top 10 albums of the year by Mojo magazine. He has a steady rotation of gigs in the Atlanta area, dive bars and restaurants, and the occasional full-fledged blues club or juke joint. Sometimes he travels to play. But he really misses Memphis. You're in another foreign land here, as far as the blues is concerned. How does that work?
It's hard, man, because now I have a family, so and my wife knows very well how much I miss Memphis. Miss Memphis musically, but I would not raise my child in Memphis. So it's kind of you're torn between the music and your family. So you have to sacrifice. Pretty much that's it.
Remember the International Blues Challenge in Memphis? That's when Little G first stepped foot on Beale Street. Well, this past February, he returned for the competition. And this time, he was crowned the champion. He won the whole thing.
It's not bad for a Hungarian,
To stay out all night long. Gee, I love you like a dog loves the bones.
I'd like to thank my guest today, Little G Weevil. You can hear more of his music on iTunes, Amazon, or by going to littlegweevil.net. He's releasing his next album in July. It's a collection of acoustic songs that's titled Moving. Also, I shot a video of Little G performing his song Which Way Shall I Go? So be sure and check it out, along with other episodes and photographs on AuthenticSouth.com.
Now she only call me names. I wanna never mind if I die.
Until we go south again, thanks for listening.